Hello and welcome everyone here at BASF booth of K-Fair 2019. It's now 2 p.m. and this is our second tech talk of today. With me here is Cinzia Tartarini from the Global Competence Center Automotive. Hello and welcome. And she will be talking about Irgastab PUR 70, which is a new stabilizer solution that enables polyurethane to fulfill automotive requirements. So, Cinzia, now I hand over to you. Thank you for being here. Have fun.
Thanks a lot. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cinzia, as you just heard. I'm working in the Global Competence Center Automotive for BASF Plastic Additives, and it's my pleasure to be here today and introduce you the latest development from BASF in the field of polyurethane additives. Irgastab PUR 70, an anti-scorch system for polyol and polyurethane foams, which improves the sustainability of automotive interiors. The driver for this innovation has been the need to improve the quality of automotive interior, of the air in automotive interiors. I'm sure that at least some people here, just like me, use their car every day to go to work, to go shopping, maybe bring children to school. And actually, people in industrialized countries drive their car on average 1 hour per day. And as a matter of fact, the components used in automotive interior release volatile organic compounds. For this reason, already since the 90s, in the automotive industries, they set methods to measure emissions and odor in automotive interiors. It started in Germany with the VDA, the Association for the Automotive Industry, in Japan with JAMA. And these methods were adopted from the OEMs and resulted in a number of different standards. What we see in Europe, there is a strong focus on VOC and fog emissions. These are substances which are released at different temperatures from the materials used in automotive interior. And all the substances released at this temperature are measured. And then you have the value of the emissions. And in 2011, the VDA updated this standard here, the 278, in order to really be able to detect all the volatile compounds which are emitted from chemicals used in interiors. What we see in Asia, also there the focus has most been on identifying certain substances of concern. And then thresholds were set of maximum values that can be found in car interiors. And in Japan, the guidelines for the air quality in interiors were updated in 2007, followed by Korea in 2013. And then recently in China, the guidelines for the air quality have become a legal requirement with the GB 27630. So these two standards are more or less the most stringent and challenging to be fulfilled. They impact on the global market. And in fact, polyurethane foams for seating are a major component in automotive interiors, and they do contribute to emissions. These emissions can come from the components used to manufacture foams. So each of the producers of these raw materials are really striving to decrease the emissions related to polyol, to catalysts, to foam stabilizers. And we also have an important role played from the anti-scorch system. This is put in the foam formulation to prevent the thermal degradation of the foam during the process, because this is an exothermic process. And our Irgastab PUR 70 is an anti-scorch system. And the new product not only prevents the foam degradation and preserve the quality of the foam over time, but it also significantly reduces emissions released from the foam. On this chart, you see the ppm of emissions according to VDA 278-1011. in terms of both VOC and fog. And you see that the foam containing the new additive compared to a foam containing a common additive used on the market, they have very different values of volatiles. In particular, in this case, the volatiles are really, we can say probably negligible. Please consider that the VOC threshold would be 100 ppm and the fog threshold would be 250. So in this case, we are far below the threshold. On this other chart, we have the emissions measured on the same foam samples. Please consider that these foam samples were really from standard production in production scale, so really to simulate what happens in the real life. And in this case, the same foams were analyzed according to the 10-liter bag method test, which is a test commonly used in Asia to really detect these substances of concern. And here you see already a significant decrease in terms of emissions measured in the foam containing PUR70. Here you have formaldehyde and acetaldehyde, which are particularly critical to fulfill after the recent changes in the regulation. In this case, the emissions from all the components in interior are considered really for fulfilling the standard. So the producers of foam are really striving to decrease as much as possible the emissions from any component, including polyurethane foams. So each and every improvement is welcome for the customer, even if not really striking, not necessarily. In this case, in this slide, you see a summary of the properties and the requirements for an anti-scorch additive to be used in automotive interiors. These requirements concern the additive itself, its properties, and the performance in polyol and in foams. So Irgastab PUR70, in the first place, significantly reduces emissions in polyol and in foams. It reduces aldehyde emissions significantly, and it does not release any aromatic amine or other aromatic substances emissions. Secondly, it provides outstanding stability to polyol against auto-oxidation. This is important because the anti-scorch additive in the first place is added in polyol, so it needs to protect the polyol from degradation. However, it can be added also during the foam production, especially for the processes where the process is very exothermic, maybe for low-density foams. And Irgastab PUR70 yields good anti-scorch performance in polyurethane flexible foams. It is a liquid product, easy to handle in production, and this is also important for people using this new product and replacing maybe something else that they are using nowadays. Lastly, it shows outstanding gas fading resistance, and it shows extremely low light-induced discoloration. These properties mostly concern the end use of the foam and the storage. And these properties are particularly important not only for automotive foams, but also for foams used in sport applications and textile applications, for example. So this is also a field where Irgastab PUR70 can be used successfully. So I will summarize with the key benefit of Irgastab PUR70. It yields enhanced air quality in automotive interiors, comply to the most stringent emission requirements, and improves the final article quality and durability to finally enhance the quality in the interior of the car, in the air, the quality of the air in the interiors. And with this, I would like to thank you for your kind attention, and I will be glad to take any questions if you have any. Otherwise, you can also meet us at the BASF booth. Thank you.